All right, good afternoon. My name is Pooja. Uh, on behalf of India Next, I am here in Raheja Mindspace, Hyderabad, and we have some esteemed guests from IACC who are here. And the intense debate amongst the IACC members is about the whole Indo US relationship in lieu of the new announcement that has come from Mr. Donald Trump. So I'm sure it's going to be interesting to hear. We have a lot of experienced people who will be talking over how are the new policies around the trade, technology, agriculture, and etc. will uphold. And but stay tuned to hear more as we have certain interviews lined up. Good afternoon, Shekhar.
Good afternoon, Pooja.
Welcome. It's pleasure having you here. So I hope Hyderabad is treating you well.
Oh, yes, it's always been.
That's nice. So I'm sure after Trump's announcement, there has been a lot of talks and stories that have been floating all over social media. So we just thought, we will quickly take some time with you and try to understand, a few things around this whole announcement that has come and how it is going to impact the Indo-American relationship. So, as it is a bilateral body, which has played a vital role in,
Yes.
in building relations and, between the democracies. So let me jump on to the questions that I have on my mind, and then certainly you can add, if you think, that will be useful for the audience to listen to. What could be the areas that will improve between both countries, and what will be the contentious issues in the present context?
See, the areas what it would improve are lot of ones, I would say, because US and India are looking at increasing the trade in a multitude areas. Like one of them is, we are going to be partners with them in producing some very good products of high technology. That's going to be one of those areas. And our collaboration on the defense and aerospace has again gone to a much bigger level. So these are areas which US is looking at. The thing is, US has sort of identified that they want to work with us on these following: the semiconductor manufacturing and its ecosystem,
I see.
quantum computing, and then they're looking at the environmental issue of protection, like which is including renewables, so on. And that's why recently they announced about they have asked on the civil nuclear deal that they have given us more concessions to work on. And similarly on technology products. So these are areas where US is looking very seriously with respect to India.
All right.
And Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, it's a 56-year-old organization, which has been the only bilateral organization between India and US trade. So we are really proud to be being a platform to address this particular one. And so these are issues where there's going to be lot of growth which will happen. And our association in the Quad is another one to show about the defense strategies which we will be adopting together.
All right. All right. Okay.
Regarding the contentious issues, there are two things. One is about the illegal immigrants, and the second is about on the tariffs which could be there. But I think, see, as far as the illegal immigrants are concerned, India has even proactively considered about repatriation of about 18,000 of them. So they may be, and which could lead to a lot more practical solution which would happen. And with respect to the tariffs, whatever they have been announced, they are all rhetoric at this point of time. There will be negotiations on that for sure. But then we are confident that both governments are extremely sensible in ensuring that the trade is very important between them. And they are run by very sensible people. There shouldn't be any issues on that.
Got it. And I think while you were speaking, the technology products kind of caught my attention. So if you can elaborate, what are the potential areas that might come, for India as a country, wherein since most of the current population is leaning towards IT, so do we have some opportunities that might come our way?
There are plenty of opportunities which can come on our way. See, whatever we are understanding today as IT, ITES is on the software portion of it.
Yep.
But the semiconductor manufacturing and that ecosystem is going to have a quantum leap in our hardware technology understanding and collaboration. So that's going to be something very, very big on this. Similarly, whatever that is going to happen on, environmental systems like on whether it is renewable energy and so on, you're going to, or even there again, you are going to get into products and services which are end of the top of the technology ones which to happen.
Got it.
So this is what is going to happen. And similarly, anything to do with defense production products, again, is high tech, which is where we are going to collaborate. Unmanned aerial vehicles and so many things are planned.
I see.
So, it's a very exciting area, a time for all of both of us as a country.
All right, that's nice. Thank you. Next question is, will India's trade policies, like you mentioned, probably this is more towards the point that you had brought up on the trade. Will India's trade policies undergo a change in favor of Quad countries with lesser emphasis on USA?
Oh, well, not really. See, our trade policies are governed by our requirements, and they are also dynamic. So it's not necessarily that Quad is, you have Australia, you have India, and USA, and Britain. You're talking of. So our trade with all these three nations are still good, and the trade with US is out of the three is the highest, and definitely it will continue. It won't lean on that. It would move to something else. It would grow with all the three. Is what I feel.
Okay, it's nice. Then coming to an interesting question, which I'm certain that a lot of people are looking forward to hear from you. Will the friendship between India, PM Modi and Donald Trump bring new opportunities to India in defense, technology transfer, and manufacturing sectors?
Very sure, because both have excellent relationship, and their chemistry seems to be working pretty well. And so I'm sure they both look at having the strategic partnership growing leaps and bounds.
I see. That's certainly a good news. Will the new regime of Donald Trump create an opportunity for India to look towards improving trade relations with China and Russia?
Yeah, see, our trade relationship is not just limited only with respect to the US. See, trade with China, for that matter, every country has to trade with China.
Yep.
Because China is the largest factory for the world.
True.
So there's no way it's going to have any change in that. Russia too has been a time-tested one for us. And so I don't see any sort of major changes to happen in that.
All right. And when I got here, I got to know about a statement that has come from the Minister for IT, Electronics, Communication. Anything that you would like to add on the statement that she has passed around the Indian Railways and the economic slowdown in the coming quarter and all of it? So just want to hear your thoughts on it.
See, it's only one quarter which we have talked about it. We are always pretty good in jumping back. And I think it shouldn't have been a great concern.
All right. Okay. All right. I think
Thank
that's
you.
all I had. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
connecting
much. It
with
was a
India
pleasure
Next.
talking to you.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome, Mr. Badiga.
Very good afternoon.
Thank you for connecting with India
Yeah.
Next. Pleasure to have you here with the recent announcement that Trump has made, right? There have been a lot of talks and discussions going all over the social media and everywhere. So we just thought, we will get some time of yours and we can have some questions answered, which will certainly help the audience here.
Sure.
So, okay, I'm going to start the question,
Certainly.
which has my own selfishness, because I
Certainly.
would really like to understand what are the potential areas that IACC is looking for to improve, as a part of this, the bilateral relationship that we have, in lieu of what Mr. Trump has
Right.
announced. So, what are those?
So most important thing is we have already established a relation as far as education is concerned.
I see.
But otherwise, we are looking more interested in the FDA coming in. So we are looking at more of American companies coming and setting up in India, because as our honorable Prime Minister has been talking about local to global and manufacturing indigenously in India. So we are looking to concentrate such a huge companies, larger companies who could come and set up the shops here. The best part here is even the government of India is opening up, especially the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, and Ministry of Finance is also encouraging a lot of FDI companies to come into India. So the sectors where we see potential is aerospace, and second one is pharmaceuticals already established. That is another sector, and medical devices.
I see.
This is a new sector apart from the already established thing.
Okay.
And predominantly, what even the Indian consumers are looking at is the EV vehicles, electronic vehicles. So automobile is going to be a big change. I'm touchwood. I'm sure Mr. Elon Musk would choose India than any other country. And in very short period, probably in a year from now, we'll see all this Tesla vehicle running on the Indian roads. So just to repeat that, manufacturing would play a big thing role in India for the American to come and set up here. And obviously, once they do it here, why? See, I'll tell you why they prefer India is. India being a huge consumer market, if they open the shops here, the manufacturing shops here, they can sell in India. And because of geographically position, they can also export from India to southeastern countries, northeastern countries.
Yeah.
So that would be the best part, for the American companies.
Okay.
And just to give a feedback, even during the COVID period, the American companies were looking at India in a big way. We were not prepared, but now we are prepared and we have a ready-made shop floors for them to come and set up their shops.
I see. I see. That's
Very
great.
positive.
That's great. It's really positive to hear. Anything in particular that our youth should be looking forward to?
You would see India is no more a job seeker country. India has become a job giver country.
Yeah.
So the youth are playing a very important role. Most of the colleges here in India, they're training the students as the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So that is the best part here. So the government of India, and if you talk about the regional governments also, we're talking about skill development universities. That's a big step forward. Both in terms of the youth who want to turn as an entrepreneurs, or training ourselves and making the manpower available for the larger companies to come and set up here.
Okay.
So for the larger companies who want to come and set up here, for them the first thing would be whether the human resource would be available or there. So India is going to be an entrepreneurial country. Not only that, but also human resource capital of the globe. So these were the two major factors, and youth are going to play a major role. Be it a smart, as you know, you have stand-ups, startup companies and all,
Yes.
and almost all the states here, I would say, there are 28 countries in India rather than saying 28 states in India. So they are complementing with each other, and obviously encouraging their youth.
Yeah. How do you think the whole immigration policies will now unfold after this announcement?
See, each countries have their own policies, and I would see it's too early for us to really break our heads and think what is happening. And most of the people, especially from India, who went there and settled, they are from H-1B visas and legal immigrants.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to worry about as far as Indians are concerned. And for all the other illegal immigrants, I would say we have we are not supposed to get into somebody else's issues.
Got it.
So that way India is safe.
Got it.
Yeah. The Indians, the US are safe.
Over there. Yeah, sure. I think this helps, and I'm sure certainly a lot of questions got answered for people who were,
But otherwise, a huge future for India, and America is looking at India.
Great to hear. Great to hear.
It's rather earlier it should be India looking at America, but it's now US looking at India.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Machine, for connecting with India Next. Pleasure to have you here. Since I've learned that you are from the law background and you're still practicing, which is really appreciative of you.
63 years in the profession.
63 years in the profession. Oh my God. So then I think I would like to start with asking how the whole legal policy will unfold after in lieu with Trump's announcement and you getting associated with IACC. What is that India will foresee as far as the legal element of the country is concerned?
You see, I don't see any issues, I don't see any problems. President Trump, you see, has made certain statements, but so far as Indo US relations are concerned, whether politically, economically, culturally, and historically, I think nothing can shake them. And India is following a policy of accommodating US policy
I see.
to whatever extent is possible and will impress upon the United States to do the reciprocal gesture. And our Minister for External Affairs is already in the United States
Yeah.
2 times in last 10-15 days. So they're on the job,
Yeah.
you see, to keep the bonding between the two countries
Okay.
very strong
Strong.
on all the fronts. And we have a common commitment, that is the rule of law. Two largest democracies in the world. And so nothing can go wrong so far relationship is concerned. There may be some aberrations, some policy requirements of President Trump. He can't obviously show, you see, that he's favoring India to the exclusion of others. Therefore, some sort of a balanced policy will emerge, but that won't hurt the Indian interest.
Okay.
And also, nothing will happen to the Indian students and all who are studying there.
Got it.
I think they will get, you see, whatever they have been doing in the past. That won't be disturbed.
I see. I see. And I also learned that you are associated with IACC for quite some time. You're like a veteran here. So, per your experience, this whole, the Indo-American relations, and we are talking so much about it. How do you think countries like China and Russia will impact? Will they have anything to be concerned about, or how this game will play here?
You see, I can only talk about India. Now, India and China are already coming closer.
Yeah.
At political level, at the border, the tension has reduced considerably. Both the countries realize that they have very, very strong domestic markets,
I see.
which can be used, you see, economically to mutual advantage and benefit. Similarly, we have very strong relations with Russia. We are dependent in so many ways on the Russian defense equipment and even the oil. And Russia also realizes that. At the same time, it does not interfere with our relations with the United States. So we have that sort of a policy which has emerged as a result of the present government, that is the Modi government, enlightened that, okay, good relations with everyone, but not sacrificing your interest. So that is the message.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Great. Sure. I think thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
thank you.
Rashid. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, Mr. Purna, for connecting with India Next. My name is Pooja, and I'm going to take a few minutes to chit chat about how is IACC working towards the Big Bang announcement that has come from Mr. Trump, and how, or if it will, impact the Indo-US relationship that we are trying to, build upon, which is building a proper segue today, right? So I learned that you are from a core software background.
Mainly.
Yeah.
I think India, no one takes us in the ears because they accept us because there is a need for us, for them to hire us. So that's why we ended up there. I also went as a student, and then went through the whole process of getting H1 and then immigration and all that.
Yes.
But the thing is, definitely there are issues that is bothering them. And I think whenever there is an unemployment situation, or right now US facing some downtime. So whenever there is downtime, they always talk about immigrants, how they're affecting them, blah blah blah. But I think most of these things settle back to normal over the time. So that's what I'm expecting. And some of the things, yes, some corrections are needed in the years.
Okay.
Definitely, I have no doubts about it. And what happened is some people who are not really qualified also made use of the situation and went there. I think those corrections will affect them more than the real programmers. I mean, see what happened is a lot of people talk about computer programmers. When we did our programming, we were programmers. Most of the people who claim that they are programmers, they are not real programmers. They are only using the packages, just like you use Microsoft Word. And we as programmers, we developed those packages.
Yeah,
Those are real
exactly.
programmers.
Yeah.
But the people, they going there now using these packages, so they're more of application users than the real software programmers. I don't think most of them know the basic languages. If you take the C or C++ or Visual Basic or anything, they don't know those languages. They are only writing scripts to use those packages.
Okay.
So I think time will come, and some of the things he talks about not having birthrights and all that, it will be challenged in the court. And but I think their main focus will be on illegal immigrants rather than immigrants from India.
India.
99% of our immigrants are legal immigrants, not illegal immigrants. So I think we will not be affected as much as we are worried about.
Got it. Got it. So with the issues that you just pointed out, right, on illegal immigration or people who are there are not qualified enough today, what they showcase, are we going to have some kind of guardrails that will help us reduce this, and which will certainly not impact, and there'll be no comments saying, okay, you know what, we have people who are not qualified enough today.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is, I think the companies will take care of. See, what happens is when they restrict the people, it automatically filters, right? So, I mean, if you have 4 people, you try to pick the best 2 people.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
don't pick the bad 2
Yep.
people, right?
Yep.
So that way it gets filtered. It's an automatic process. Second thing is, like I said, we are not illegal immigrants. And the third thing is, most of the people who go from India, both are working people, both husband and wife.
wife.
Even if one loses job, I don't think it immediately affects them because the other one has the job. So that way, I think we are more or less safe, protected.
Okay. Now, with last question, this is so. How do you think, with this announcement, the relationship between our Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Trump what is that India should see now?
I mean, I don't know whether individual level relationships really make that much difference because they try to protect their rights, what is good for them.
Yeah.
And our Prime Minister will try to protect India and what is good for us. So overall, it's only a talk. Like, oh, they have good relation. They walked around the stadium. So last time, so it all makes difference.
Yeah.
I mean, having good relation always helps. At least
Yes.
you can talk face to face, just like we are talking
True.
now.
True.
But other than that, I don't know. It gives huge benefit that that India gets.
Yes.
So it is only what is good for them. They do what is good for India. India will do.
Got it. Got it. Sure. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Puna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.